faithfully conveying value and interpreting great books worldwide. Hello, this is Sally's Book Talk. Hey there, all listeners of Sally's Book Talk. I'm Guin Hao, the editor in chief. Today, we're once again entering our editor's recommendation time. First off, we want to ask all listeners a question. If I give you 3 minutes, can you clearly and accurately convey one of your viewpoints to someone else? In daily life, we rarely hear talk about conveying viewpoints like this. But actually, if we think about it, the communication, reporting, and speeches we experience in work and life are essentially all about conveying our own viewpoints. Many folks might think public speaking isn't something most of us are good at. Maybe it's politicians, celebrities, or writers who do it more often. That's because our education from childhood never trained us to express opinions publicly. So many friends say, like after entering the workplace, we're about to start a presentation or sharing session. We do tons of prep for a speech, gathering materials, writing content, revising and refining, memorizing and rehearsing. But when presentation day comes, ah, as you're all pumped up on stage, ready to deliver your carefully crafted speech, you find hardly anyone in the audience is really listening. Some even start either playing on their phones or dozing off. Honestly, this is the most common scenario for speeches in everyday life. Spending huge effort, but the impact can't even make a splash. Ultimately, it's not that you're not hardworking enough, but that we haven't mastered the skills of public speaking. Now, we need to mention a great figure. Everyone knows this person's name, Steve Jobs. When we talk about Jobs, we know he was a genius designer and we know Apple. But actually, he was also a widely recognized master of speeches. Since launching the Macintosh computer in 1984, Jobs delivered one unique speech after another to the world. He was like a salesman with real magic. Through his speeches, he sold his ideas, turning speech spectators into product customers, then those customers into loyal fans who finally volunteered as unpaid promoters for Apple, spreading it worldwide. The voice of Apple. So, next Monday, we're going to recommend a book called The Magic Speech of Jobs. The author is Carmine Gallo, a well known American speaker and also a top communication coach in the world. He also wrote another bestseller, which you might know, like Talk Like Ted. So, in the book, The Magic Speech of Jobs, we'll discuss on Monday, the author starts from the basic principles of speaking, analyzes, summarizes, and synthesizes Jobs' numerous speech examples to help readers understand where Jobs' speaking magic comes from. The author believes that with long term hard training, an average speaker can reach Jobs' level of speaking. Then next Tuesday, we'll interpret another book called The Power of Self Esteem. The subtitle of this book is Embracing My Imperfections Towards Freedom and Happiness. Literally speaking, self esteem is respect for oneself. In more popular terms, it's about loving yourself, liking yourself. If you have a good level of self esteem, your attitude towards people, the world, and handling emotions will be more positive and optimistic. You're also more likely to live happily, but having good self esteem isn't easy. In real life, we often find people who are very insecure, feeling like they can't do anything right. Um, Others might seem to have high self esteem, like always bragging about their achievements in front of others, never accepting rebuttals, always saying, listen to me no matter what. But actually, both cases are essentially signs of fragile self esteem. The book we'll discuss next Tuesday aims to talk about what good self esteem is and how to improve our self esteem levels. So, the author of this book is Christophe. Andre is a leading figure in French cognitive behavioral therapy and the first to introduce mindfulness meditation into French psychotherapy. Andre is also a prolific writer, having written about 30 psychology books, each selling over 100,000 copies. And this book, The Power of Self Esteem, is his bestseller, translated into 20 languages and sold millions worldwide. So, what exactly is self esteem? What power does self esteem have? Why can even a person's or a nation's self esteem be hurt? To find out the answers to these questions, let's listen to The Power of Self Esteem together next Tuesday. Next Wednesday, we'll recommend a very famous literary classic, also a book about love, called Mitya's Love. The author of this book, Bunin, is a Russian writer born into a declining aristocratic family. Ah, due to his background and the social environment of that time, a key characteristic in most of his works is that they center around death and love. And with the book Nietzsche's Love, he became Russia's first Nobel Prize laureate in literature. The Nobel Committee's citation for him was as follows: for the rigorous artistry with which he carried on the classical Russian traditions in prose writing. So, Mitya's Love tells the story of Mitya and Katya. The protagonist, Mitya, is a rather conservative man with a girlfriend named Katya. She's a city girl, influenced by new ideas and passionate about art. They're two independent individuals with different understandings and pursuits of love, ultimately creating a bittersweet love story. If you enjoy tragedies, then you can read Bunin's book. If you're interested in love stories, you might also want to check out this book, because few can portray the inner struggles, joys, and anguish of first love as vividly and realistically as Bunin does, even to the point of despair. Next Thursday, we'll bring you an educational classic that has influenced millions of parents. The title is You Are Your Child's Best Toy. I don't know if you've had this experience. Your child throwing a tantrum in front of you, leaving you feeling helpless, not knowing how to calm the child down. And sometimes when you're in a bad mood yourself, you end up yelling at them. But honestly, this doesn't solve anything and only damages the close bond between you and your child. So, is there any method that can help parents guide their children's emotions while also maintaining and improving the parent-child relationship? The book we'll discuss next Thursday, You Are Your Child's Best Toy, addresses exactly this issue. The author teaches us a method called emotion coaching parenting. Its core is to help parents enter their children's inner world and better guide them to recognize and manage their emotions. The author of this book is a renowned American child education expert and also a mother of two. Combining years of experience in child education and parenting practice, she first proposed emotion coaching parenting worldwide. It offers parents who are troubled and upset by educating their children a new method and perspective. So next week, we'll share this core parenting method, emotion coaching, with everyone. This Friday, we'll tell you about a book about books written by Japanese-Chinese writer Ji Jinren titled Tokyo Hanya. Why is the book titled this way? Anya, with on meaning book and ya meaning shop. In Japanese, it means bookstore. When Japanese people say Anya, they often add san at the end. Anya-san is how the Japanese referred to small bookstores. Perhaps you didn't know that Tokyo is one of the cities with the most physical bookstores globally. According to statistics, in 2014, Tokyo had about 1,500 physical bookstores, meaning one bookstore for every 25,000 Tokyo residents. So we can imagine what an important role small bookstores play in Japanese life. In the book Tokyo Honya, we'll share this Friday, the author Ji Jinren visited 10 of Tokyo's most distinctive small bookstores, including the familiar Muji bookstore, Morioka Shoten, which sells only one book per week, and Kino bookstore with its authentic scenery, among others. Ji Jinren interviewed bookstore staff and other industry professionals, telling us about the unique features and trends of Tokyo's small bookstores. So, what's the charm of these small bookstores in Tokyo? If we say a bookstore is a place where a person meets a book, how does Tokyo's Onya-san create these serendipitous encounters? Next week, we'll step into Tokyo's small bookstores. Next Saturday, the book we'll interpret is about Amazon, titled The Everything Store. As you may know, Amazon is one of the world's earliest e-commerce companies, with its market value once exceeding $1 trillion. It was also the second U.S. public company after Apple to reach $1 trillion market cap, and its founder, Jeff Bezos, thus became the world's richest person. Well, Amazon started out as just an online bookstore, but Bezos wasn't satisfied with just being a bookseller. He kept expanding the business boundaries, turning Amazon into an everything store, selling massive quantities of goods. Later, they launched Kindle, cloud services, making Amazon a tech giant rivaling Microsoft and Google. So, how did Amazon achieve all this? And how did Bezos lead the company through growth and constant breakthroughs? In the Everything Store, we'll find all the answers. All right, that's what we'll share next week on Sally's Book Talk. Hope you all enjoy it, and please share any books you think are worth recommending lately. For books recommended on Sally's Book Talk, thank you, everyone.